Hey everyone, I'm Gabby Pito. I'm so excited that I get to speak to you this week as we continue our series, Seriously Jesus, which is based on Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And today I will be talking about loving your enemy. And I can tell you this is probably something I struggle with a lot. Loving someone who I don't get along with or just have a really difficult time with is so difficult for me. There have been teachers and people at school I didn't get along with. I have even had soccer teammates and coaches I didn't get along with. And this one time in high school, I developed an enemy with one of my soccer coaches. Well, it's more like I made them my enemy. And why, you might ask, is because after a game that I played against a D1 school, I played so great. And after that, my coach, I don't know why, but he didn't start me anymore or didn't play me. I would only play in the last 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm a player that's used to playing the full 90 minutes to 80 minutes. And I can tell you that hurt a lot not being able to play. And because of that, my self-confidence went down, which meant my playing went down. And I just almost wanted to quit soccer entirely because of that. And because of how I felt, I just developed this hatred towards my coach. And I would talk bad about him. I would even not give him the same respect that I should during practice, which was not okay to do. And just because it's easy to hate someone or make them feel bad doesn't mean that's what we should do. Instead, we should be loving our enemies. And if we turn to our Bibles to Matthew 5:43 through 44, it says, "You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Jesus is telling us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. And you might be thinking what? Really? I'm supposed to pray for those who are intentionally trying to hurt me and make me feel bad? Jesus, are you serious? Yeah, he is. He was someone that loved others who hated him and made him feel bad, but Jesus continued to love him. And if we turn to John 13:34 through 35, he also says, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples." Just because so many people disliked Jesus didn't change the fact that Jesus continued to love them. He continued to love people that hated him. They even tried to stone him, make him contradict his words, and they even tried to kill him. And Jesus continued to pray for them. He prayed that their hearts would turn to God so that they might know the truth. If Jesus can love people who hated him and wanted him dead, I think we can continue to love those who we might disagree with, who we might have a difficult time with. And something that I heard that I think just really sticks out to me and I just love is, if we only love those who we like, then how are we different from the rest of the world? Let me say that again. If we only love those who we like, then how are we different from the rest of the world? The world tells us that it's okay to hate your neighbor. It's okay to hate those that disagree with you. It's okay to gossip about them. It's okay to bash someone on social media. But Jesus is telling us, that's not okay. We need to be loving those. We need to show respect for them. We need to give them an ear to listen and just love on them. And loving people that we don't necessarily like or get along with, we are still showing God's love to them. And that's something that they might never have received before, is God's love. And loving others can come in so many forms. For one, it can be stopping gossip about a person. It could be you just shutting it down, being your friends are talking about a person and you're just saying hey guys, not cool, let's stop talking about this person. And I can tell you there are many times that I have not done that and I've realized I should have done that. And because of how I felt after the fact, I'm I should not feel this bad even though I had the opportunity to stop it. I need to stop this. Another way to love someone is choosing not to give a sarcastic comment or retaliating, which is something we talked about last week with Pastor Parker. It's so easy to just say a snarky comment just because it's easy and it might have some humor to it, but it's still going to hurt the person's heart and it's still going to hurt their feelings. And just so you know, a lot of people are sarcastic and they think sarcasm is humor. I mean, it is, but also in the definition has the definition of it has the intent to hurt or cause pain on someone. And that is something that we have to think about. Even me, I am a very sarcastic person. If you know me, I give very sarcastic comments. But there have been times when I have given a sarcastic comment and I'm oops, I shouldn't have said that. And people are like, did you mean that? I'm like, no, I didn't mean that. And I have to take back what I said. And I've learned to, before I give a comment, is to pause, think about what I say, and just be like, okay, I'm not going to say that. So I choose not to do that. Another way to love someone is telling a person what they're doing is bad, but doing it in a loving way. Because if you know your enemy and you know that they're going to do something that's going to cause harm to them and someone, you can say like, hey man, this isn't cool what you're going to do. You're going to hurt yourself and you're going to probably hurt others. And you are showing God's love to them by showing that you care for them, by showing that you are being the voice of like reason for them, being like, this isn't cool, like you shouldn't be doing this. You're going to cause so much harm to other people. You are showing love. You're showing the care that they need. Maybe you're the first person that's ever going to do that for them by showing them a different way and showing them that you care. Another way to show love is for praying about them, praying for them and saying like, praying to God and saying like, God, I pray for their heart. I pray that something in them changes, and praying for God to reveal himself to your enemy. Like, that's difficult. Praying for your enemy, like, why should I pray for them? Like, prayer can do so much. It has so much power. Like, if we think back in the Bible to Paul literally was persecuting Christians. Like, he wanted them dead. But something changed in Paul where God revealed himself to him, and Paul changed. He became a Christian. He started so many churches. And that's something that we just need to keep in mind. And also on the topic of prayer for your enemies, pray for yourself. Pray that your heart changes to be able to help your enemy, be able to change the way that you talk to your enemy, how you treat your enemy. Such a big thing to do. It might be difficult, but it is something that we should do. And it's a good practice to start because people are going to take notice of what you're doing and how you're treating your enemy. They're going to be like, wow, this person wasn't mean to their enemy. Instead, they were treating them with love, and that's not something that you see every day. So as followers of Christ in this world that we see so much hate in now, let's be the change and say, like, I may disagree with you, but I still love you. I still care for you because God loves me, and I need to love others too. So yeah, and if we're going to keep going, I'm just going to leave you off with this. If we only love those who we like, then how are we different from the rest of the world? That's something I want you to really talk about. Talk about it with your leaders, friends, other people in your group, and parents and family. It's just something so big, and I want to leave you with that. So thank you, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.